Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Uttam Chaudhary and you have started to watch my channel Excel to Excellence. In the series of Excel Quick Bites, we are going to continue on Power Query, and this time I am covering something called Merge Query. We do have multiple parts of it. This video is part 1 in which I would cover something like you seek for one value and take the outcome as one value, something which we have been doing in VLOOKUP, but this is 100 times more powerful. You really do not need to use VLOOKUP formula. No VLOOKUPs required, no HLOOKUP, no XLOOKUP. Nothing is really required when you use Power Query, and especially the merge query option. So, before we continue, please do subscribe my channel Excel to Excellence. Click on like button, send your comments, and please do not forget to click on the notification button, the bell icon, so that as soon as I upload any new video, you get the update immediately. Thank you. Now, before we continue, let's understand this sheet a little bit. I have two sheets here. One is student's name, the another one is the student's grade. In this, if you see, the student's roll number is here, the first name and the last name and the gender is mentioned. This is how many, let me see, we have 52 line items in this. However, in grades, we do have common thing between these two sheets is the roll number. However, in the grades, you would see the different grades that has been achieved by various students. So if you see here, these are the various grades. These are the name of the students. Now, what we have to achieve here is we need to fetch the first name, last name, and the gender of the students, because we just know the roll number, we do not know their names. So we need to publish their names as well against the roll number. So we have to give the names, first name, last name, and the gender. Now, how can we achieve this using the Power Query? Let's go ahead. So I would start with something called, I go to data, I go to table and range. In this, what it does is it is trying to find, oh, so I have placed my pointer in the wrong place. So I have to place my pointer on the table. And what I will do is I will go from table and it would convert that into table. And what it is doing is now it is actually imported all the values and it is able to identify this all the rows as a numeric in nature. Now, if you see here, you have the table 1 as a query. I can rename this. Probably I'll rename this as grades. Yeah. What I'm going to do now is I am going to bring in another table. So I will go, go to file, the file here. Now, when I'm clicking on the file, it's asking me, what do I need to fetch? So here I do have the field called student names, and I am going to fetch this into this particular query. So I've gone ahead and selected student name. I already do have grades into it. So I'm going to go ahead and import student's name as well. So in here, you see the roll number is being categorized as numeric in nature. The first name and the last name is is more of the alphabets, and the gender is also alphabets. Now you do have two tables. How do I kind of go ahead and merge these? Yeah. So while we are merging this, what happens is it would only merge for the roll number that are available in the transactional data in the grades sheet. So what I'm going to do is here, I will go into something called add column. Yeah. And in the add column, I would go into merge queries and I will say merge, click on merge queries. In this, what I'm going to do is my first table is grades already. We always need to make sure that we keep the transactional table on the top, and then I am going to select the students table as well. Now, if you look here, what kind of join I have to make? The left outer, which means all from the first table and matching from the second table. So whatever matches the first table will be fetched from the second table, which is exactly what VLOOKUP does. So we go here, and what is my common table in between both of these? Roll number. So if I go ahead and press Control key and click on roll number, you would see it is matching all the 23 line items from the first table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say OK. As soon as I say OK, you would see that the tables is being attached here. I have to go here and say, hey, what am I supposed to do? I will not select all the column because that's not required. I am not going to select the roll number because roll number is already there. What I need is first name, last name, and the gender. And I do not want the original column name as a prefix. So I would just remove this. Now, if you look here, as soon as I click here, if you have noticed, the beauty of Power Query is in that we are able to fetch three columns in one go, as well as when you look in the VLOOKUP, we have to put the formula for each column individually three different times to kind of fetch the information. Here, in just one query, it was able to fetch the information of so many students, the first name, last name, and the gender. That was done all together in one single click, which doesn't usually happen, which doesn't actually happens in VLOOKUP. Now, the other part of VLOOKUP is that it would always fetch the value from the left. If you have to have, fetch the value from the right and you want to take the outcome into left, it doesn't really happen. But in this case, you can fetch the data from anywhere and put the field on here. Now in this case, if I want the name to really come right here, I can just drag this and bring the name in here. I don't really have to bother that I have to go and later on do that part. Yeah, this is so easy. This is like absolutely done in no time. Now I'm going to do something additional to just show you the power of Power Query merge queries. So in this case, if you look, I want to add the total of the score that was done by all the students. So I select all of these fields, go to add column, click on from number, and just click on add. If you see here, the add addition was done just like just like that without any effort. Now I can give the name as total grades, total grade, or say that's fine as well. So I put that. Now I want to know what is the percentage. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and go to percent off, and here, since these are six different 5 different subjects out of 500, so I say okay, give me a percentage of this particular column out of 500. Now if you look here, it is just generated. Yeah, it was damn easy. The best part is now this data is ready. You can go to home, you can click on close and load, and you would see that the data just came in into this all super sorted. Now, if you go into here, this particular field has everything. This particular sheet has everything: the roll number, the first name, gender, the language score, grades of language, mathematics, science, history, geography, and then you have the total and you have the percentage. Now, if you want to find out the top scorer, you can go by lowest to small, and kind of just do all of that that you normally do in Excel, right? Now, say in case if you realize later on that you have done some mistake, you want to modify, the query. So what you can do is go to queries and connections, and you can double click on this and reload the Power Query so that it brings up the same data, and you can make all your relevant changes that you would want to, and you can close and load again to kind of bring it back into the main sheet. So I hope this was quite useful to you, quite fast in terms of what we want to get things delivered. Now, the best part that you might have noticed is that in case of VLOOKUP, you can only, what you can do is you can only bring in one value at a time by putting the formula, say one value here, here, and here. So kind of, pull in all the different data. You have to run the commands, or you have to run those formula that many times. But in this case, the outcome was like three different information, which is first name, last name, and the gender, and you were able to bring in just right there. Yeah. So I hope this was quite useful to you. Please let me know how you felt about this. I'm going to bring in the part two as well, which would talk about just not one data. So, say for example, if you have, you want to put the outcome based on two queries. You want to say, for example, if you have the name, which is duplicate here. So, obviously, to make it unique, you would want the last name also to get added, and based on two queries you would want the outcome. So I'm going to cover how we can do two queries together. Based on two different queries, we should be able to put the outcome. Thank you so much. But before we go, please do not forget to like and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that as soon as you get the as soon as I upload the new video, you get the notification immediately and you do not miss out anything. Thank you so much.